Hey everybody, this is Muff from Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff, and I just want to thank you for everything you've done this year, all the YouTube subscribers, everybody that downloads every week. Appreciate the loyal listener club. Be sure that if you don't already, get on YouTube, hammer that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, listen to the videos, like, comment, rate, review. We're trying to keep this going straight to the moon. Enjoy this top 10 video and keep it going.
I'd like to thank the loyal listeners for listening to the Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff podcast. Have a great new year. Thank you for being a part of a great show. What do you think?
I think Ohio State's going to win this time instead of Michigan.
There's that. What do you think?
Philly.
Anyway, thank you all for listening. Keep listening. Get the bell on. Do all the things. Thanks.
Hello, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff loyal listeners. I just wanted to personally wish you a happy holiday season, a happy new year. Thank you so much for all of your support in 2022. I look forward to continued support in 2023. Like, comment, surprise, poke, tickle, subscribe, whatever it is, do it all. We can't do this without your support. Thank you so much for your continued listens. I look forward to bringing you some good content in 2023 and some expert opinions from myself. Maybe not Muff and Jim, but mine will be expert. Peace and blessings. This last point I throw on here, because we're a big fan of women's sports. Of note, the 3 highest attended European soccer matches this past year were all women's matches. So it's Barcelona versus Wolfsburg in a game, Barcelona versus Real Madrid, and then England versus Germany recently. So go women.
That's odd.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them, but that's odd that.
Yeah, it did.
I wonder what they attribute that to.
I don't know.
I don't know enough about the stadiums over there. I'm not saying that that's like the reason, but I'd be interested to see. Like I don't know enough about the stadiums.
You know
like
what?
England versus Germany was part of the Euros, like women's Euros.
Yeah, that one didn't
so
surprise
that
me.
was definitely in a big stadium somewhere. I don't know about those club matches though.
I'm calling out Connor Leckie. He'll tell us. Muff, clip this, put it on our YouTubies. Calling out Connor Leckie. Let's see if he responds. Tell us why this is.
Because I can at Connor on YouTube.
We can add it on our gram.
Yeah, but you can put the link on you can put the link on something else.
We've learned. Remember, 150 episodes in, we've learned.
Technology,
We've
Muff.
evolved.
We sure have.
I think that wraps up Quick Thoughts.
I sent you guys, I believe I sent you guys a TikTok about the issue with the tunnel again. Are either one of you going to acknowledge that?
I don't know. Did you send one?
I'm pretty sure I did.
I missed it if you
Go
did.
ahead, Jim. Talk about it. This is your thing.
Michigan purposely came out late from halftime, forcing Illinois to come out late and causing 2 minutes to be added to the halftime clock because they share that tunnel. And Bielema was not bringing his players out at the same time as Michigan. And told officials, look, we're going to keep this pleasant. You guys go, we go. That's how we're going to do this. Everybody agreed. And then Michigan came out late. They used that tunnel as a weapon.
I'm good for Bielema for being like, hey, we're just going to avoid that being an issue instead of playing into the
And Harbaugh says, okay, well, you can avoid it. We're still going to make it a sticky area for you. Jim Harbaugh is a piece of shit.
Welcome to The Rock. That was almost more like WWE The Rock than to The Rock. So The Rock, welcome to another edition of Alex's Movie Reviews. I was assigned The Rock this past week, and I have some thoughts as I watched it. So my first thing was he goes to the gravesite of his wife, and he leaves his medal, his military medal, on the grave. And I thought
he being Sean Connery.
Yeah, thank you, Muff.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't Nick Cage. I'm not even sure you watched the movie at this point. Now I'm confused.
No, the guy who ends up taking over the Rock.
Oh yeah, got you.
The guy who's the lead defector or whatever.
Yeah,
but then it made sense because I don't think he really cared about it because he was leaving.
He was
off about the military anyway.
Yeah, he knew he was going to die probably.
Yeah. So the first scene, they're going into the base.
Yeah.
And the guy gets shot out of a guard tower with some kind of red rubber ball. It's not a bullet. He's standing by this window and it looks like someone threw a racquetball at him and he jumps backward and smashes through the window. And all of the glass in this movie in general, really, but especially this opening scene, is so flimsy. it just all shatters. Like someone like sneezes on the glass and it's like so that's a critique I had. I feel like they leave their friend, the one friend in the gas chamber, and he gets all deformed. And I think they definitely had time to get him out, and they didn't. So that was kind of a dick move. It was kind of like the end of the Titanic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely room on the piece of wood. They open up strong with a classic bomb detonation scene. You know, had I shouldn't say detonation. I should say diffusing.
Yes.
Nick Cage diffuses the bomb and then goes home to play guitar poorly in his underwear. Weird scene, but it happened. I wasn't really sure why that was necessary, the underwear guitar playing, but it happened. There was a very dramatic quarter throw when they were questioning Sean Connery. They throw the quarter at him to call someone. And it like hits the ground and it like spins. And I really thought that was going to be ominous about that quarter, and it really never comes back to the quarter. So it's kind of a weird move.
Wait, you mean the quarter that he uses to cut the glass?
Cut the glass.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but it just still seemed okay.
Overdone. It was overdone. It was overdone.
Yes, it was over. Yes, he has the gun fixed on Sean Connery, one guy, and he says, "You will not." And I just thought that was like funny. My favorite line in the movie is when Stanley's wife, Nick Cage's wife, they're talking about how he's swimming underwater to get, into the rock, Alcatraz. And she says, Stanley's not even a very good swimmer. He can't even snorkel. Just one of those things that stood out.
Yeah.
Obviously, welcome to the rock. Sean Connery says, maybe I'm losing my sex appeal. That was a funny part. So, oh yes, here's another one. So they say the F word throughout this movie a whole bunch, right?
Right.
But then there's a line where Nick Cage says, I'll kick the out of a bunch of Marines. And like, I feel like it was just going to be shit. But you've just said the F word so many times in the movie. I was distractedly nervous whenever anyone be holding up the little balls of green glass.
Yes.
So right whenever I'm writing this note about this, because I like the whole time, every time they pick them up, I'm like, I'm like, don't clink them together, don't drop, like whatever. I'm like freaking out. And then that one drops and it's rolling and he runs and does that like dive, catch, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
That was a lot for me. That needle to the heart. He had to put the atropine in the heart. And he finally had to do it.
Yeah.
Never thought he would. And I loved the final part of the story at the end when Mason, aka Sean Connery, is with him. And he says, what happened to him? And he looks up at him. He's like, he died. So I thought that was cool. He
Vaporized.
A human can do that. Oh yeah. He tells him he ripped up the plea bargain or whatever. And
no spoilers.
I thought we were past that with some of these movies, but
yeah.
So overall, I give it 2.5 Busch Lights.
All right.
It was a little notch below Con Air, but it was enjoyable.
So my question for you is, what did you think of the prom queen exchange?
The prom queen.
Oh my God, Muff.
You missed like the line of the movie.
No. I was distracted by the green things.
This was before the green things. Muff, give the line.
Just tell me.
You don't remember what winners do?
Oh, yes. They do the prom queens or whatever.
Yeah, losers always talk about giving their best. Winners go home and
fuck the prom queens. Yes, right. I know. Okay, yes. I know what you're talking about. Yes, I do like that. That's a good line.
Okay.
It would not be allowed in a lot of movies today, I feel like.
Totally. This is why these movies are... That's not why they're good, but it's just far enough back, relevant-ish, but it's also far enough back where it's like, yeah, we can't say all the things we say in there now. Yes, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yes, you're right. Losers get like Jim go home. Winners like Muff and me. I'm just kidding. And then on the shit list today.
Then Nick Cage goes, "She was the
prom queen." Yeah. Yes, she was the prom queen. And I was like, was she? I'm like, listen, you're at home playing the guitar in your underwear bad. I don't think you landed the prom queen, okay? I think between that and the green balls, I was so distracted.
I got you.
Between Nick Cage's underwear and green balls, you were distracted?
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
So
only 6 games.
Deshaun Watson gets 6-game suspension. Muff asked me to give my thoughts. I think it's kind of a slap on the wrist. Definitely expected way more game suspension.
I think that in the grand scheme of things, Deshaun Watson got off extremely easy with a 6-game suspension.
Only 4 credible witnesses that the NFL felt comfortable putting to Jetsu Robinson. Over 20 plus allegations, only 4 credible witnesses, 6 games.
Good for the Browns. Just get through it, survive.
I think he deserved at least 1 game, a half game even, per allegation, per victim of his. That would have given him 12 games or 24, but I think that 6 is not doing justice to the severity of the accusations.
The first time this process has been used by the NFL as a result of the last CBA, Roger Goodell still has the final say. Only 6 games.
I'm shocked that, you can get a full year for gambling, a whopping $1,500, and just 6 games for whatever it is Deshaun Watson did.
I think it's a slap in the face of the women that he had these incidents with, especially when you see the length of suspensions for less personal infractions, as far as, I don't want to say personal rights, but these involve other human beings.
A lot of conversation today, a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions, some facts. A report came out. Encourage everybody to dig into themselves as to how they feel about this with the information that was presented.
Not long enough, in my opinion. I'd like to have seen it be at least 10 games, probably a whole season. I probably would have been okay with a whole season.
The NFL has 3 days to put together some type of appeal if they would like, which may go straight to Goodell, which is where this all started, which is why the CBA had this difference.
That's my thoughts. I'm shocked that it's only 6 games. Browns benefit from it, of course. I think it'll probably be reduced, I guess. Whatever. Roger being Roger and the NFL being the NFL.
Only 6 games. Let's see where it goes. After all of that, Ava Louise comes into the fold, which I think this is the most hilarious part of the entire drama that's going on right now. Ava Louise, of fame of licking a toilet seat in the height of COVID. That's literally the lines that came out after this came up.
Everyone's famous for something.
Everyone's famous for something. That's what she's got a shtick for. Ava Louise comes out and has intimate knowledge not only of AB, because she said she slept with him, had a picture in his room, blah, 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 but also apparently has intimate knowledge of the team hotel, which she was snuck into to have these relations, in so much as she knew where everything was, had pictures, apparently he's holding on to some of these for probably TMZ or somebody, and then says, oh, by the way, I'm positive for COVID. At Buccaneers, you should test your players, because I was with AB. AB kicked her out and said, I got a meeting with Tom that next morning. You got to go. And then AB starts on his media tour, where he starts continuing his narrative about his ankle. And I was never going to get my incentives anyway, because Tom's going to throw it to Gronk. Gronk's his boy. Antonio puts out a rap song, which he's trying to push all over the map.
Man, I missed all of this.
Right. So this has been the week that was for Antonio Brown.
This is Mount Massive. On Halloween Day, since it's Halloween, we're going to give you the top 5 scariest people in sports. Ooh. I think I'm going to go first. Number 1 for me, Mike Tyson. To me, even at his current state, I would not want to see Mike Tyson in a dark alley. Like, he just still scares the shit out of me. Number 2, Ray Lewis, for obvious reasons. I think Ray is a scary man for his alleged murder, and also
Nothing to do with his sports prowess.
He is also a scary individual. Lawrence Taylor is just a crazy son of a bitch, and also scary on the football field. I mean, he snapped, was Joe Theismann's leg.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Moon.
This is a bone of contention. But Dale Earnhardt, RIP, praise Dale. Him behind a wheel made people like tremble when he was behind them. like literally crap their pants. So
Literally, please. Oh, wait. So we're saying literally.
I'm pretty sure they were literal crapping of pants.
Okay.
But like I feel like I've always had that fear of like the demon car. You guys have seen like the movies about cars that come to life.
Everything Twisted Metal. Have you ever played that?
Yes.
Yes. My thing is like I always imagined he would be the driver of that car.
I just can't. So I agree. I hear you when you're talking about him in the car. Like I don't just necessarily him in the car, but I picture him outside of the car. And when I picture
Correct.
these people, I'm thinking like, if I'm gonna get in a fight and one of these two people has punched me in the face, and it's gonna be Ray Lewis or Dale Earnhardt, I'm gonna let Dale Earnhardt.
Correct. It's for what he can do behind a wheel that scares me.
Okay.
Like the haunted car with him in it just scares the shit out of me.
Okay, it's your list.
And lastly, Brock Lesnar. Like, yes, he's in the wrestling.
Yeah, but
like even when he was in the cage fighting, like I don't want to see him anywhere. Like I think if I saw him in an airport and he was sitting next to me, I'd be like, I'm gonna move 3 seats. I'm sorry that I'm near you. He hates people.
He does hate
He
people.
genuinely hates people. And I don't want to be one of those people that takes up his air that makes him angry.
Fair.
So that's my list.
You should write down it, Muff.
Yeah, I'll go. My list is no particular order. I'm just looking at a group of 5 people. It includes, and this is I think the only person of this sport, Zdeno Chara from the NHL. In a sport where there is used to be more so the role of enforcer, I think we have to have a scary person in sports, and Zdeno Chara is that current person in hockey, and that's who I'm going to use. The enforcer, the person that goes in, does the dirty work, and nobody wants to fight that guy. So I don't want to fight him either. Next, I have Jack Lambert of Steelers fame, and this is mostly for the famous picture of him with no teeth. And he was just an absolute menace on the football field at a time when you were allowed to be a menace on the football field, and were encouraged to be that way. Number 3, this could also be the controversial type, such as Dale Earnhardt, Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
On the field,
this was almost as bad as Dale Earnhardt for me.
He was a very imposing figure. Like he was a tall pitcher who could just slang it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And he killed a pigeon.
He killed a pigeon.
That'll do it for me too. I agree.
Right.
That would do it for you.
With a baseball in his hand, he
like picture what he can do with it throwing something at you. If he decides he wants to throw an axe at you,
the basketball player that killed the bat? Was it Dirk?
Okay.
Was he this guy? I mean, with his bare hand. Sorry, go on to your list.
And then I have Mike Tyson for all the same reasons that Jim mentioned. And the last person on my list is James Harrison, who, not just because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler, but because there are many people in the sports worlds that say that James Harrison is just a scary, scary man.
Is he the one that can squat like a gargantuan amount of weight?
Yeah. And that used to play like volleyball with 50-pound medicine balls.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see him either. I agree with that one.
So mine also is in no particular order. 5 people. Jack Lambert, I'm with Muff. It's mainly that picture that when you think of like scary people, he embodies it. Mike Tyson, Joey Porter was the one. Whenever I think Steelers that I was afraid of, which I know I'm not supposed to just make it a Steeler list, but I'm a Steeler fan. So Joey Porter, James Harrison, and Ray Lewis. The other person on my list, and I debated whether I was going to bring this up or not, but Alvin Kamara. There's something about like the bullhorn, and when he's at his top form running, like today he scored 3 touchdowns, so I think we can give him the shout out. I wouldn't want to stand in front of him when he's running. And I think Derrick Henry with his, I think it's ponytail.
Yeah, I don't want to run. I don't want him running.
You know what I mean? Full head of steam. Those kind of guys that are like confident enough in themselves to have that like badass look coming at you down the pipe.
Yeah, I agree. Marshawn Lynch was another one.
Yes, he almost made my list too. This is like recency bias stuff though. So I didn't put them on because in the grand scheme of things, do I think they're ultimately the scariest? No. But those are the kind of guys that like if I had to stand there and take it from someone, they would not be on my list.
Marshawn's on my list because he's crazy.
Yes, all of them kind of are. You have to be crazy to just barrel into people like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And let's be fair, Alvin Kamara has a history of, mixing it up a bit.
Well,
yeah,
also a very good point.
Alex,
come at me, Buff.
Alex, write those down. If both of those lose,
then he has to.
Hey, he doesn't need a lawyer.
He has to lick my butthole.
I don't know.
He's a grown ass man.
Seems pretty.
He can defend himself, Muff.
Pretty extreme. What are you pouring another drink for?
You gotta have a drink for the end of the show.
Okay. All right. Well, that takes us to the end of this week's drinking episode of Sports Stuff Betting Stuff.
If you're drinking at home,
Which you probably should
be
be.
a drinking game for the show.
What is it? Every time that
Alex and Jim get in an
fight.
argument
Drink
over
beers.
something that neither one of them have any factual evidence to support. Take a shot. Anytime they get mad at each other about each other's opinions, take a shot.
every time
Muff has to interrupt and ask us to stop talking, take 2 shots.
every time Jim cautions Alex on a pick, which is every other pick sometimes, I feel like.
Finish your drink.
Because he bets the board. He bets the whole fucking board.
Usually I don't.
Why are you yelling? Every time
Why are you yelling? Anytime Muff asks us why we're yelling, take a shot.
I think there's a better finish your drink. I'm trying to think of what it would be.
Every time Jim rips on the Big 12.
Anytime
Crush.
anytime that Jim spite picks Muff.
Anytime.
drink. Because there's always that
That's for
opportunity, but he only takes advantage of it very minimal
Anytime.
times.
Anytime Jim bites into one of Muff's baiting picks,
Finish your drink.
Finish your drink.
finish your drink.
Because it doesn't happen every episode, but it has the opportunity to happen
I
every
think,
episode.
I think we're
Exactly.
developing something for next season.
No.
Play along at home.
You two cannot play along at the time of the show. I don't permit
Muff
that.
won't be able to
Oh,
stand
that
us
happened.
by the end of the episode. Muff won't be able to stand us.
You two won't be going to work the next day.
No.
We're gonna have to start recording on it like Friday or Saturday.
All right.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrew, the Senior World Cup correspondent for the podcast, and I'll give you my thoughts on the World Cup. I'd like to start with a moment of silence for Italy. 4-time champs failed to qualify in their second consecutive World Cup after having lost 1-0 in qualifiers back in March, at home, to North Macedonia. Like any good sporting event, this year's FIFA World Cup has not been without its upsets. This has resulted in a lot of exciting games and, regrettably, money lost from my sportsbook account. Some of the more impactful upsets of this tournament are Iran's defeat of Wales, Japan's upset of Germany, and probably the most surprising at this point is Saudi Arabia's defeat of Lionel Messi's Argentina. My teams to watch are Portugal, Brazil, and France. Portugal because they're in a weak group and they have Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, what more could you ask for? Brazil, they're also in a favorable group, and they're always one of the tournament favorites, and their style of play is very creative and fun to watch. If you have the opportunity, I'd strongly suggest catching one of their games. And France because they are a European soccer powerhouse. They have a flair for the dramatic, and they're dripping with experience and are a technically sound squad. My dark horse for the tournament is Japan. Their win over Germany was impressive. Germany is either highly overrated for this tournament or had an absolutely terrible match. Either way, Japan's dominant performance throughout leads me to believe they're capable of a deep run. Now let's shift the focus back to Team USA. We have one of the youngest squads in the tournament with an average age of around 25. The team is led by Christian Pulisic and my boy Weston McKennie. While their youth does indicate a lack of experience, we should almost view this as a strength. What they lack in experience, they more than make up for in their fitness, determination, and eagerness to make a name for themselves. The defeat and humiliation of our national teams from the past decade is lost on this group, who only see the potential for greatness and glory on the world stage. Regardless of the outcome for them in this particular World Cup, we should see the core of this team together for years to come, and they will only grow stronger as they gain experience as a team. In the U.S. recent game against Wales, US came out of the gate brilliantly in the first half, took the pace of the play directly to Wales, and dominated the entire half. While their playstyle wasn't as polished as their contemporaries, everyone wore their heart on their sleeves, and they ended the half with a 1-0 lead thanks to a spectacular goal by Tim Weah. The second half couldn't be more different from the first. They came out flat, looked exhausted, like they spent all of their energy in the first. Ultimately, Wales took control, scored a late game penalty kick which tied it at 1-1, and that's how the game ended. The US had a much better showing against England. While they did come out weak and waited for England to take control of the game, they slowly became acclimated to England's play style and began to engage here and there, building momentum without making mistakes. They ended the half with some great scoring opportunities while playing England as equals. In the second half, the US picked up where they left off. They limited England's scoring opportunities and did a great job of keeping the ball away from Luke Bryan doppelganger Harry Kane. There were some puckering moments late in the game as a defensive for the US, now playing with some swag, got careless and made a series of terrible decisions and passes. Luckily for the US, England wasn't able to capitalize on these and the game ended in a 0-0 draw. The US looks forward to a match against Iran on Tuesday, the last of their group games. If the US wins, they advance to the knockout round. If they lose, it's a long plane ride back. My 3 keys to success for the Team USA. First, we need to get the ball to Christian Pulisic. While he has these tiny little legs and isn't very fast, he is very quick and wily. He's the US greatest scoring threat and we should give him every opportunity to do so. Which means, number 2, get someone else to take to corners and the free kicks. Pusilic's delivery of free kicks against Wales was atrocious. Have someone else take them. Every player on the national team should be able to hit a cross. Pulisic needs to be on the receiving end of these kicks where he'll have the opportunity to clean up scraps and put the ball in the back of the net. My 3rd key to Team USA success is our midfield. We have an extraordinary group of midfielders in McKennie, Musa, and Adams. The US midfield are the hips of their attack. Like a boxer will tell you, all punches start from the hips. Likewise, all the U.S. scoring chances are generated by the exceptional effort and passing of the U.S. midfield. Their ability to maintain possession, find openings, and work the ball to their strikers is one of the greatest strengths of this team. And with that, kicking it back to you fellas.
I'm going to go on record right now, okay? I don't do this often.
Okay.
I'm going to apologize to Alex. I saw the performance in the TCU game, and I thought the Big 12 is shit.
Yes.
That close of a game, number 14, that was ridiculous. And then all of college football decided to follow suit in shitty-ass performances. Turns out, Alex, there was something in the college football water, and it's not the Big 12's problem this week. I apologize for banging on the Big 12 this
Jim,
week.
you're a big man. Thank you.
Hey, don't talk about my size like that. It's not nice.
So
You don't know what size he was talking about.
Oh,
We're going to have to put an E rating on here because of Nate this week.
the NCAA has granted Oregon's Cam McCormick his 9th year of eligibility.
this is talk about something crazy. This is crazy.
This is absolutely nuts. So he redshirted his freshman year, which was 2016, I believe.
Yeah.
And then suffered 4 straight season-ending injuries from 2017 to 2021. And he did make it through this whole season, but is not considered an NFL prospect by any means.
Yeah, but does the season end? Was he injured early enough in the season that it wasn't considered a year played? Is that what they're saying?
That's yeah,
And you got the COVID year in there.
right.
That's true, yeah.
So it's 5 years of season-ending injuries, which is how he gets to his 9. One of those season-ending injury years was a COVID year too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how all that plays into it. So it's just absolutely insane to think that somebody. I hope he's got like 3 degrees. Like, I hope stay there for 9 years.
Yeah, I just found the picture because I saw where Jason Brown from Netflix Last Chance U was ripping this dude apart. But 2016 redshirt, 2017 redshirt freshman, 2018 season-ending injury, 2019 missed the whole season due to injury, 2020 COVID year, 2021 season-ending injury, 2022 senior, 2023 and 2024 granted year of eligibility. Talk about a super senior.
Super duper
Yeah.
duper senior.
He has said that he's not sure what he's going to do. Like, he's not sure if he's coming
Because
back
you still
yet.
have to take classes, correct?
You still
Yeah.
have to
Like,
be
I wonder how many
eligible.
class credits he has at this point.
Well, there's a lot of other eligibility things that come into play aside from GPA, as far as you have to be working towards a degree. There's a lot there. There's just a lot. But I thought it was interesting. 9th year of eligibility is absolutely insane.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this. This is the top 10 of 2022. 2023 is going to be an even better year. Remember to subscribe, rate, comment, review. Get into all of the social media at SportsGymMuff on Instagram and Twitter. SportsStuffW /Jim_Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Get in there, help this rocket ship keep going straight to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. Listen to us every week, Mondays with our normal episodes. During football season, we have our betting episodes on Wednesday. It's a good time. Get in, hop aboard the freight train, shoot, money, get that paper.